welcome back to the Six-Side Culture Podcast. Once again, I'm joined by Prince and Danny. Boys, how are you?
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Well, we have a pretty, I'm anticipating a long one at least. We had all the matches from last weekend. We usually like to do them earlier in the week, but obviously we had the midweek matches between Inter-Sassuolo and Juve-Napoli, and we also had Roma-Ajax, so we decided probably best we did on Friday. But, we're here now. It's been an interesting week. If I was recording this on Monday after Roma's draw to Sassuolo, I don't think I'd be in good spirits, but after Roma's performance against Ajax, I'm feeling much better. But I said we start off with last week's matches. If you don't want to hear the recap, I know it's kind of like a week late. You can just skip ahead if you want, but we'll probably be into the midweek matches in probably 20 minutes or so.
There'll be the timestamps as usual.
Yeah, there'll be timestamps, so go take a look in the description. But if you do want to hear about last week's matches, feel free to listen in. So we'll start off quickly here with Lazio-Spezia. Lazio won 2-1, of course. It was an interesting game. I think many people would think Lazio would walk through Spezia. But as of late, Spezia have been giving some teams some trouble, even though they haven't been getting results. Spezia came out and put the pressure on Lazio early on, I'd have to say. They did well. And then didn't really give Lazio too much time to gather themselves. Lazio kind of looked uncomfortable for most of the game. And once again, at the end of the match, Caicedo, he came in, saved the day.
He always scores, but at the 90th minute, every game. That's the only time he scores.
Yeah, he only scores at the last minutes. We actually have a post about that coming out today, so that's funny. But yeah, he always scores at the end there. But Lazio won 2-1 with the goal there, put away the penalty. But I want to shout out Daniele Verde for the goal of the season.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
We were here talking about Pele's goal for Parma that Baisi for a couple of weeks ago, and I think this one surpassed it for sure. It was farther out. It was higher up in the air. It takes a lot more athleticism to do what Verde did. And shout out to he's Napolitano, so Dan, you should like that about him.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like seeing Napolitan players do well in the league. Too bad I saw a post, if they were saying that one guy came out, I don't know who it was, he was saying that Napoli should invest in him just because he's Napolitan, but if they give the squad, he'll just be a bench player. But he's not that bad. He's been playing decent for Spezia. He's only 24 years old, so he's got a lot of room to grow. I feel in the next few years, this is his prime years, and if he continues to score goals like that, who knows what this guy could be in the next. Could be a late bloomer.
Yeah, Verde is a talented player. He was in our academy at Roma Primavera for his whole youth career, and I followed him. I really liked him as a kid, and he was a very good player when he was younger. He was very sharp, and he has all the same attributes I saw from when he was a younger player, but just seems a little bit more smarter now, I guess, with the ball, you can say. But I think Verde does have a future. Happy to see him score that goal. Brought back memories, and shout out to Spezia for putting on a pretty good performance against Lazio and gave them a lot more difficulties than I guess they were expecting. Moving on now to Genoa-Fiorentina. That ended in a 1-1 draw. Genoa took the lead early on with a well-placed finish from Destro, but then about 10 minutes later, Castrovilli headed the ball into Vlahovic, who put it in the back of the net with a half volley for his 13th goal of the season, which I was very happy to see. Vlaho keeps scoring, and Destro too. He had that little scoring streak and then kind of died out a bit, and then now I guess he's back. But yeah, it was actually an interesting game. It was pretty back and forth in the first half, but once Ribéry got that red card, it was kind of just game over for Fiorentina. Kind of just sat back and tried to get the draw, and they did. Yeah. Some people were saying it shouldn't have been a red, I saw, but no, it was a clear red. He went studs up on Zappacosta. That's a clear red in my opinion. And it was warranted. So it was a pretty good game, though, to be honest. Second half was kind of, I don't want to say lackluster, but kind of lackluster. But I think if you're a Fiorentina fan, you're frustrated with that red card. It's kind of reckless from Ribéry. I don't even think that's his first red card this year. I think he's had one before. So I guess he has a temper on him a bit. But it was a great game to watch. Vlahovic keeps scoring, so if you're a Fiorentina fan, you're optimistic about his future, and you can probably get a lot of cash from that guy in the summer, so you should look forward to that. Also moving on here, we had Cagliari-Verona. It was I don't want to say this one. It was a strange game. I think Cagliari fans are probably annoyed. They had quite a few chances to do something in this match. Barak got Verona started with a beautiful strike from outside the box into the bottom left corner. It was fantastic, actually. You don't see that goal often, and Barak pulled it off, so credit to him there for a great shot. And he also had Simeone, who got close to equalizing with a great ball in from Duncan. I believe came from Sassuolo.
Yeah.
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina. But I think it was at Sassuolo before Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been in Serie A for a while, and I think I said in the pod a couple of times, so I've always liked Duncan. I think he's a good passer, he's aggressive, and I think he has a lot to offer if you put him in the right midfield with the right players that complement him. And he played well. He played a nice ball into Simeone. Unfortunately, Simeone, he couldn't put it away. And Verona remained up 1-0. And then rest of the match, it was kind of, I don't want to say a stalemate, but it was kind of slowing down the pace from how it started. And then the last minutes of the game, Lasagna goes 1-1, and he put it away. He got it past Cranio, and Verona came away with a 2-0 victory. And Verona's always a good team. Yeah, Storado show, I guess you can say. He actually had a nice shot, almost scored. And it was a good game. Verona is a tough team. We've always said how we like Juric here on this podcast. He's a great manager, and he gets the best out of his players, and a big win for Verona, and definitely a disappointing result for Cagliari. We also had Benevento-Parma. They drew 2-2. The story of this game was corners. It's actually pretty hysterical.
Yeah.
First, Gleek opened the scoring with a goal for Benevento at the back post. Good positioning from him, and Gleek's been a crucial player for Benevento this season. And then this is where it starts getting a little bit a little crazy here. Kurtic scored off a corner to tie it up, and then we're like, okay, tied it up. And then Gagliolo scored off a corner right after, like minutes after. It wasn't long after.
I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes after.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after. And then he tried to give Parma the lead, but it was just allowed by VAR. And then right after that, Ionita headed it home on a corner to give Benevento the lead. So then we're like, okay, so that's like, 3 corners now we're saying in a row that happened, and one was disallowed. So that was just insane. And then when you just think that Benevento's coming away with this one for 2-1 victory, then you got Dennis Mann, who's been very good for Parma off the bench this season. He's got a couple starts. He's done well. He's a talented kid, and he scored a beautiful volley to salvage Parma a point. So well done by Dennis Mann, and I think he should get more minutes and play more, because when he does, he seems to have an impact on the team in a good way. So shout out to him. And a big result for Parma to get that draw after that Gagliolo header. They all thought they're going to win it, and then it looks like they're going to lose it, and then they got a draw. So mixed emotions throughout that whole match, but big result there. Then we had Atalanta-Udinese, 3-2 for Atalanta.
Scrappy game.
Yeah, very scrappy game. Muriel he's been incredible all year, but Muriel had 2 first half goals. And just quickly, what do you guys think about Muriel this season? Can he be at that next level of like that echelon of strikers in the league?
I thought he was always good, even as time with Fiorentina. I thought he was good, and then when he came, even on Sampdoria too, I thought he was pretty good as well. He seems like, I call him super sub, because it seems like all the time he plays, like off the bench, he scores. But I feel like that name's even like coming away, because he's been doing it when starting. And him and Zapata are dynamic together. They're so good together, and they're just a scary sight to like look out for when Zapata and Muriel like link up, and they're just playing as good as they can. Even the likes of Milanowski, I've been impressed with this match. He was very good. He got the assist on Muriel's second goal. And I feel like Muriel, if a big team comes calling, I wouldn't be surprised if Atalanta even sell him. Like, say if like a team like, say like a Juventus, like who knows, maybe a Roma, maybe Milan, like a team like that, if they come calling for Muriel and they pay like the big money, I feel like he can make a big move, and he can show his quality elsewhere as well.
Yeah, I just think Muriel, I think he's a great player, but I also think he's only a systematic player. I think he does so. At Fiorentina, he was good, but at Atalanta, he's thriving. He's amazing under Gasperini's system. The only teams I see, if he does leave Atalanta, the only teams I see him replicating his success is if Sarri goes to Roma and then he follows Sarri ball. I think he could really benefit well under Sarri ball or like under Pep Guardiola at Man City. I think those are the only like two coaches other than Gasperini that Muriel does well under.
Yeah, you have a fair point there. I feel like I would have leaned more to your argument like maybe a year ago, but this season it seems like Muriel is scoring these goals, is creating all on his own. Like just this game, like I was gonna get into here, like his first goal there. Just wow. Like I guess I don't want to say Musso had an error, but it was a strange goal. It was a nice shot. It's kind of like a knuckleball a little bit, but obviously close to the ground. You know, Musso really didn't know how to react to it, but like that second goal, like he dribbled past Musso, placed in so calmly with his quick feet. This season, Muriel seemed to really been scoring a lot of goals just from his own, even against Roma. He embarrassed us. I think against Napoli, he had a beautiful goal. If I'm not mistaken. He's doing all these things that he hasn't done in the past, and maybe it's a system, maybe it's confidence. I don't know what it is, but I feel like in past years he would score goals that were created for him, and this year he's been really creating a niche for creating his own. Yeah. He's really grown. And,
I've always thought, I always thought he was a good player. Like I always thought he was a good player. It's just this season he's becoming more than just a good player. He's becoming class this season.
Yeah, he is.
Even the last few years, I think he has the most goals off the bench as well. Like in the last 2 years in all of Europe or something. Like he's
definitely
incredible.
And even this season, he's put Zapata on the bench for quite a few games, and I know a lot of Atalanta fans are mad about that. But when someone's performing this well, you got to give him minutes. So credit to him. And speaking of Zapata, obviously later on in the match, Zapata got a goal. But before halftime, Pereira, Frances's man.
Beautiful man.
He's been great for Udinese since arriving. He's brought a lot to the team, and he got one back for them. So you were kind of like, oh, okay, it's 2-1. Maybe second half Udinese makes a push. And they actually played pretty well this game.
They did make a push. They just
they did.
Just couldn't get the final goal.
Yeah, they couldn't find it back in the net to ultimately get a result. But for about maybe maybe 20 minutes left it was. I'm not too sure, but Striger Larson, he's actually a pretty good player as well.
Yeah, it was around the 70th he scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored a nice goal as well, and I like Striger Larson. It was a good position in there, and Molina played a beautiful ball in. You can't discredit that.
Yeah, Molina's been pretty decent for Udinese this season as well. Like even just the last few weeks, he's been playing a lot better.
Stepping up. Yeah, definitely. And that ball he put in was fantastic. That was
very nice ball.
Yeah, that was on the money. So credit to Molina there and Striger Larson. Also, Zapata's goal was nice. Zapata. It's not like he's been bad. It's just when someone's doing as good as Muriel, it's kind of hard to. What's the word I want to use? Just start over him, I guess. Like, you gotta go with the hot hand sometimes, and like the Euros, like Ridley striker, I really hope someone catches fire right before the end of the season, like around this time.
Yeah.
So we have a clear starter, but it's not looking likely. But yeah, when someone has a hot hand, I guess a hot foot, you could say, playing soccer here, you gotta go with them, and that's what Gasperini did, and it's been working out. They're winning games, pretty comfortably, so, and they got the third straight win here, so. Credit to Atalanta and Udinese as well. They've been pretty good since since February. They've been pretty good. They haven't won every game, obviously, but they had a little streak there. After the Roma loss, they went on maybe a 4-game unbeaten run, 3 or 4 games. And they're giving a lot of big teams trouble, so credit to Udinese. Milan-Samp, this can be a hard one for Milan fans to listen to, but Theo Hernandez is widely regarded as the best player on the team by many Milan fans. They love him. I think he's a good player as well. His defensive ability is very questionable. And sometimes it seems, what's the word I want to use? He tries to, not steal the spotlight, but he tries to do too much sometimes because he knows he'll be in the headlines. You can just tell he's one of those guys. And to start this one off, Theo Hernandez made a very lazy pass that got intercepted by Quagliarella, who then shot it right over Donnarumma. Yeah, beautiful finish. And from Theo Hernandez, it's embarrassing. That's unacceptable. And I'll mention later in the Roma game, but same thing happened with us. Very similar. But, that was terrible by Theo Hernandez, and, but mistakes happen. What can you do? But that one, just for professional players, unacceptable. Maybe it's miscommunication. Maybe the pass is too soft. There's a lot of variables you can put in there. But in my opinion, the guy who's passing the ball has to pass it not as hard as they can, but hard. And then the player is professional.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it. You control it. That's what I learned anyways when I was playing. Our coach would tell us to pass the ball hard, and then as a person receiving, it's a problem to receive the ball and control it. So.
You don't blast at his foot, but like,
yeah, obviously,
yeah.
necessary power.
Yeah. No, but then, like in that situation where Hernandez passed it back, it shouldn't have never ended up like the way it did.
Yeah, even in the middle of the pitch too. Like it wasn't like in center circle, but saying in the center of the pitch, in front of Milan's box. It was a risky pass to play, and it's probably one of the first things you learn when you're learning how to play Calcio. So. Yeah, disappointing for Milan fans there. Probably frustrating after the last couple of weeks they've been having. But yeah, after that one, Milan was knocking the door for maybe the whole game basically. Like they had quite a bit of chances they were creating. Ibra had one. They were playing well. And then finally, Hogg, he's been great this year, and he scored.
Yeah, he's been really good.
And he deserved that goal. I think in the future, he could be someone important for Milan. Whenever he comes in, he seems to make a difference. In the Europa League, he played well when I watched. And he seems to have a really bright future, so credit to him. Beautiful shot past Odero, curled to the far corner. Just a beautiful shot, and not just any player can do that. You gotta have some kind of quality in you, and he does, clearly. So, credit to Hogg there. Do you guys have anything you want to say about this match?
No, you covered it well.
I just think this is a game that kind of shows Milan's season in a great picture. They started off really well, and now Inter's starting to like go away with the Scudetto. They're kind of just tired and exhausted, and they kind of just like gave up. This game they played well, but not well enough to fight for the Scudetto. I mean, we all saw Pioli at the beginning of the season when Milan was at first. He was saying they're going for the Scudetto. And now after that game, he said, "Oh, I never said we were going for the Scudetto. You guys did." So, I mean, it just shows that the whole team's defeated and their Scudetto hopes are over. And now they're going to start falling down the pecking order.
Yeah, and I think it was inevitable with the players they have. It's not a terrible team by any means, but it's also not a great team. If you compare even Juve to Inter, Juve has great players, but Inter has a more well-rounded team with the players they have quality-wise. And I feel like Juve have dealt with a lot of injuries this season and a lot of COVID issues. And then Milan, maybe after the January transfer market, have been killed with injuries. They've just been ruined.
Yeah.
And Inter seems to be one of the only teams who really haven't really got any injuries that are notable that I can think of, really. I can't think of one, to be honest.
They have COVID cases, but
that of course, yeah.
They got taken care of.
Yeah, but oh god. Yeah, we've been over that one. But just like injuries in general, like an actual injury, I can't recall anyone really getting any crucial players. So, credit to Inter for staying healthy, and I guess only having one competition for a good amount of time here has helped them a lot. Definitely has. But yeah, Juve seemed like they're out of the race. Milan out of the race. Looks like Inter really secured it here. But we'll get more into that actually next, because Bologna-Inter is the game we got to talk about here. 1-0 win for Inter. Inter got their 9th straight win here. Their first and only goal was from Lukaku, who didn't really surprise much. But he received a great ball in from Bastoni. His first shot was stopped by Ravaglia, but then he tapped in his own rebound. It was probably the lightest tap I've ever seen. Like, it's one of those ones where the ball's probably going to go in the net, but you just want to make sure, so just tap it in so you don't take any risks there. But Bastoni put a great ball with his left foot there, and he's obviously been great this year. And if you're Italian, you hold him to high regard as a future of our backline. And Lukaku doesn't stop scoring. He is just an incredible player, and I don't think anyone expected him to be this good and as good as he's been. And credit to him. Bologna did have a few chances throughout the game. Nothing too threatening. There's a point where I thought Inter would make it 2-0, but Lautaro's shot was smashed off the bar. He made a nice move to get open, and just destroyed the bar, and ended up being 1-0 for Inter. Good win for them. Obviously, it doesn't really matter how much you win by at this point. just get the win and get closer to the Scudetto every win you get. So they're closing in now. Do you guys have anything to add to this game?
Yeah, I just think Inter, I gotta give credit for this game. They're starting to play a lot more like the Juve way. Obviously they outperform their opponents, but sometimes teams have games like this against Bologna. I think every Inter fan's finally gonna agree with me when I say this, that Inter played like shit. They weren't as sharp as they normally are, especially against a smaller team like Bologna. But they got the result done, and they made sure, like, okay, guys, we're playing like shit. Let's just relax with the ball, and that's exactly what they did. And Conte and the rest of the lads really controlled the tempo of the game. So I think it's a win that was much needed, like Enzo said. And it's unfortunate that Skorupski missed the game due to COVID. I wish it's just a shame for him, you know.
Yeah. Shout to Skorupski, Roma legend. I actually liked Skorupski. I've never had anything against him. I thought he was actually a pretty good keeper.
Yeah.
Even at Empoli, he was good.
Yeah, very good keeper.
Yeah, shout out to Inter, like which I said there too. Yeah, big win for them. Moving on now, Danny, and I've been waiting for this one. Napoli-Crotone.
Start.
This was a crazy game. So
yeah, it was very, very crazy. Great for opening half for Napoli first, maybe 22 minutes, I would say. That second goal between Insigne, half volley pass to Osimhen, beautiful goal for the second one. Then Simi, this guy's a god, man. Oh my god. Like every game he plays, he scores. Like this guy's unbelievable. It makes it 2-1. Then Mertens, Chiro, I'm gonna call him Chiro Pirlo for now on. The guy just scores free kicks every game. Before the Juve match, obviously, but he placed it well. Beautiful free kick. And then 3-1 up. I'm like, okay, I feel like Napoli could run away with this. They had good chances, whatever. 3-2 happened. And first of all, I just want to say this. Watching this match, our back line was horrendous. The only person I wanted to see at the end of the game, like, be happy, was Di Lorenzo. He was unbelievable. He was very good this game. But our back lane between Manolas and Maximovic was terrible. Terrible. Mistakes by Manolas on the first goal. Maximovic on the second. It was just very unorganized defensively, especially from the left side to Manolas' side. It was just terrible. I didn't enjoy watching it at all. And then when Crotone made it 3-3, I wanted to just stop watching the game. I was very pissed off. But thank God for Di Lorenzo, and beautiful shot, beautiful run to the box, and he placed it home perfectly to give us the 4-3 win. It was an unbelievable match, crazy match. It was harder than what I expected. But I'll give Crotone a lot of credit. They battled Napoli. They took them to the edge. And then Napoli's class just outclassed Crotone. But Simi, I can give him a lot of credit. He's been unbelievable this season. And even Junior Messias, and I know you like him a lot too. He was very good this match. You could tell he's a football player. Even Simi too. He's a great striker to have. Hopefully we see him on a bigger club next season in the Serie A. And Insigne too, for me, he was probably the man of the match for me. Him and Di Lorenzo were Napoli's best players. He's just been incredible as of late. There's not much I could say about him. He's just been unbelievable. Such a good player this season as well. And I'm just happy we got the win. It was a huge win for us heading into the Juventus match. But unfortunately, we couldn't continue the momentum against Juventus. But yeah, keep our heads up high because we got some big matches coming up. And we're not done yet. We're only 2 points, I believe, behind Atalanta for 4th place and 3 points behind Juventus for 3rd. So it's a long season. We got some winnable matches coming up, and we just need to keep our heads up high.
Yeah, what's that, Dan? Yeah, crazy game. I think it's
very entertaining for outsider, though.
Yeah, definitely. Just reading our chat that we had was entertaining. Danny going off on Manolas and then the defense, and when they scored, that was a hilarious day, man. But yeah, at the same time, Roma was playing Sassuolo. To be honest, I didn't think we were gonna win. We're deflated at the moment. All these injuries, and I just feel like Serie A, we just don't care anymore. When I watch the game, the players don't seem to really care. They seem to be saving energy for the Europa League, which I guess fair enough. It's our only hope. We're not going to really make top four. That's long gone. And I think even the fans, like the Serie A, it's just like something we have to watch at this point. It's not like it means anything. We don't care if we get Europa League. We don't care anything really. Just get the game over with and get to Thursday at this point. So, yeah, it was a disappointing game. I was hoping we'd get the win, obviously, because winning's fun, and a win's always great heading into a big match. So I was hoping for some momentum to be built after a terrible run heading into the international break, and we did not get that. We were just terrible the whole game. I didn't like how we played at all. We came out slow. We had a small stretch where we played well, but nothing really to be proud of, to be honest. Our defense was terrible. Too many errors. In the midfield, we couldn't complete a pass. Just launching the ball up. It was just hard to watch at the end of the day. It was very hard to watch. Sassuolo played a really good game. Traore played great. Their defense, Sassuolo, is always shaky. I feel like we could have scored more. But their attack's good. Raspadori, Danny's boy, had a good game. He also scored.
Yep.
Bolga hasn't been looking the same this season, but he's dealt with a lot of COVID and injuries, so I don't really judge him. He's been going through a lot off the field, so hopefully next season he has a fresh start and goes back to where he was. But for us, it's just tough without an actual defensive line. Smalling, he's a vegan, so he needs to start eating some steak or something because he gets injured way too quick. But I think Smalling will be back for the Ajax match, which we really need. But yeah, without Smalling, our defense is not the same. Cristante, look, I'm not going to go criticize him because he's a center attacking midfielder at the end of the day playing center back. So what do you want him to do? He doesn't have a choice, and all we can ask him is to do his best. And he's actually done pretty well this season when we put him there. He's done more good than bad. We'll say that. So yeah, I'm not going to criticize Cristante and go hard on him. If he was playing his actual position and performing bad, then that's a different story, but he's getting thrown to center back and he's done well, so credit to him. Spinazzola, he's fantastic. He's a great player, and when he's not injured, he's just on a different level. I don't think anyone in the league, I think he's better, you know what, hot take, I think he's better than Teo Hernandez, because he actually runs back. I think you can make that argument. Obviously, Teo Hernandez is the more popular name. He's played for Real Madrid. He does all these hairstyles. Plays for Milan, a bigger club. He does all this stuff. But if you look at actual complete as a player, like defensively going up, I think Spinazzola is a better player in my opinion.
I agree with you, Enzo.
Yeah, it's a debate. Like it's very.
Yeah, it's a very
both.
good.
Personally, I like Spinazzola more. I feel like Hernandez. He's just. Personally, I don't like Hernandez at all as a player. I think he's a good player. I personally wouldn't want him for Napoli. I just feel like he's too attacking, and defensively, he's not that good at all. Like he's one of the worst defending left backs I've seen in the league, probably around Europe. He's terrible defensively, but he makes up for the attack, which is kind of a bonus if you like attacking football. But I would rather, for me, defending wise, I would take Spinazzola. Attacking, that's up for debate, but personally, if I had to pick a fullback, I would take Spinazzola.
Yeah, and he's, I don't want to say our best player this year, but Veretout has clearly. But he's been great. And
one of the stupidest deals Juve did.
Yeah, I can't believe we won that one. At first, it looked like we're losing it because of all the injuries, but now look at Pellegrini, can't even play a game for Juve, just getting loaned out everywhere. And then
can't even play a game for Genoa. Huh.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I think Juve can really use Spinazzola in some of these games when I'm watching. Because they have Quadrado who does a good job getting the ball, and I feel like on the left it's kind of I guess left to be desired. So I feel like Spina could have helped Juve there. But yeah, I'm very happy with him. Pellegrini, I think he's had a really good year. He's created a lot of chances. He scored a penalty this game. Sometimes he can frustrate you, but he makes up for it most of the time. Much better than last season. Last season I wanted him gone. He was a nightmare to watch. But this year he's done a good job ever since he got on the armband, and I'm happy with how he performed this game. He worked hard. Diawara, I really like Diawara. I've always liked him. He does so much for the defense. He covers them. Great passer of the ball. He's really solid to have in the midfield. and it looks like he's regaining his starting spot again. So that's great to see for him. And yeah, credit to Diawara for making a bounce back after going through all the COVID struggles and all that and injuries last season and near the end. But yeah, at the end of the day, disappointing result. You want to see better, and credit to Sassuolo for bouncing back at the end there and denying us 3 points.
Yep. But anyway,
Now,
does Roma want to like redo the deal? Like, we'll give you guys Manolas back, and then you guys give us Diawara back.
We're good. We're good.
If Diawara can play center back, by all means, I'll take him in a heartbeat as well.
The funny thing about that deal is, I think, obviously, Dan, like, you probably thought you won that one for sure, like, when it first happened.
I was happy. I personally, I like Diawara. It was a win. I thought it was a win-win for both sides because Diawara wasn't really playing for us. And I think now, if you were, like, now, especially the way our midfield is, he could have easily started with Deme as well in the holding instead of, like, a Bakayoko. But at the time, I thought it was a fair deal because we needed a center back because LBO was leaving and he was getting up there in age as well. So we thought Manolas was the answer. Clearly not. And it was a good deal for Roma because now he gets a fresh start, and he's playing at a good level. Like, he's playing very good for you guys. I've seen it. I'm like, oh, if I knew this, because I always knew Diawara had quality and he was such a good player. He was a good player for Bologna. He was pretty good for us too. He scored a big goal for us. It's just, I feel like we should have gave him more time, and I feel like he could have been like an even better player for us. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it was a win-win at the time, but now thinking back, I feel like we're starting to we lost that deal in a heartbeat. I'm not a big fan of Manolas at all anymore, and I feel like Napoli need to upgrade on that position.
Yeah, when the deal first happened, I was pretty happy. We're getting Diawara, who I've always admired from Bologna. And I think we also got 18 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was happy with the deal. Manolas at the time, and even now, like if you need to watch Manolas to know, like now Dan, you watch him enough, you know what I mean. He's a very frustrating player to watch. He makes you want to punch the wall sometimes. And that last season before he left, he was Fazio outplayed him. We'll say that. Fazio definitely outplayed him that season. He made Fazio look like Sergio Ramos at times. Because his side-to-side defending, his reckless tackles, he goes, I don't know, it's hard to watch sometimes. And when he was gone, I was very happy. And yeah, then I'll get rid of him this summer if I was Napoli. Before his value goes to free, I don't think I was going to pay for him if he keeps playing like this.
And but one thing I like too about this match, just before we move on, I like what Sassuolo did, and they gave Raspadori captain.
Oh yeah.
That was very cool to see, especially because they have the likes of, say, Consili, who's been there for ages, Kidikish, who's an older player, Obiang, who's older as well. But just to see Raspadori get the captain, especially because I'm a fan of him as well. I like the way he plays. Kind of reminds me of Mertens, based on size and the way he plays. It was kind of cool to see that as well.
Yeah, he played well. He did miss a few chances, but the whole game he ran and he played really hard. So, yeah, good job from Raspadori there. Franchet, the derby. You have to get through this one before the Napoli game, so here we go.
Yeah, don't worry. Napoli game, I'll probably break a record or something.
I just think the one thing to criticize Pirlo of this whole season is his ability to say no. I've been saying it all season. Wojciech Szczesny, I don't care what you need to do with this guy. I don't get rid of him for free, pay his contract, buy him a beach house somewhere else. I don't care. He needs to go. This whole season he's been a disaster. Pirlo tried being, I guess, a genius here, putting Danilo in the midfield. I don't think it worked. I don't think it backfired on him. Danilo did what he needed to do. He didn't do anything poor. He didn't do anything amazing. He was kind of just there. Nothing special. At the beginning, I thought we were going to beat Torino. Obviously, it's Torino, and they're not the best team, but Chiesa gave me hope with that beautiful goal in the first, I think, 10 minutes or so. He scored. And then, Szczesny, every game I know we're going to concede when Szczesny's in it, so he just, I guess, outscoring the opponent. Szczesny makes Sanabria look like Messi. His first goal, I give credit to Sanabria. It was a great goal. Kulusevski, the guy, I don't think he's what Juve anticipated he is, but I also do think he has a bright future. And I think Juventus need to send him on loan for him to develop his game. Because when a player like Kulusevski is running on the bench and he starts from time to time, he's just horrible. He just doesn't bring the ball up. He doesn't know how to pass the ball. It's like watching Bernardeschi. Funny enough, Bernardeschi's playing better than Kulusevski this season. So, but the second goal, I don't know how Szczesny played the full 90 minutes after allowing that second goal, and that was pathetic. I think I could have saved that goal from Sanabria the way he handled that. I don't know what he was doing, and the only thing that gets me mad is I think Paratici or Nedved, one of the two, said that if Buffon hadn't gotten banned, Buffon was supposed to play this game against Torino, but I guess Pirlo didn't have enough faith in Pinsoglio, which Pinsoglio would have got a clean sheet. Thank God for Ronaldo for I guess salvaging the draw. I think we should have won, but a lot of teams just don't want to take care of their players. I mean, we found out after the game, Sirigu tested positive for COVID. I don't think he tested positive right after the Juve game. I think Torino are a very sneaky team. They knew Sirigu had COVID, and if Sirigu didn't play, we would have won that game. I mean, he made a lot of crucial saves. We know how important Sirigu is to Torino, how good of a goaltender he is. So, I mean, I think Torino need to get fined for what they did. I don't think what they did is very sneaky, but the city is on Inter side this year, so it all goes with the storyline. But we had to move after Torino and the Napoli game, but it just points dropped that shouldn't have been dropped.
Yeah, well said. Torino, I'm not going to get into that penalty. The delete on Belotti, it should have been a penalty. I'm not going to get into that.
That was very controversial, yeah.
The game's over now. The result's done. We got a lot more to talk about, but yeah, if this was on Monday, I'd probably go more into that one. But yeah, it was an entertaining game. I'm actually happy with how it turned out. Well, yeah, for me, yeah. I'm actually happy with how it turned out because usually Torino squat for Juve.
Now they're squatting for Inter.
Yeah, I guess you can say that, but now they're actually fighting against Juve, so that was good to see. But yeah, that really wraps up that last weekend's match day, at least. It was a entertaining one, but now Inter-Sassuolo midweek matches, they had to get replayed because they got postponed due to COVID. But here we go, Inter-Sassuolo. Obviously the next one is Juve-Napoli, but we'll get into that soon. Give you guys a little break. But Inter-Sassuolo 2-1 Inter. Once again, another match for Inter. Lukaku opened the scoring. It was a great ball from Ashley Young. That ball was just incredible. Straight onto the head of Lukaku, who headed it home. Ashley Young is such a strange player because he's not good, but he's not bad. He has these moments in games where he can prove decisive. And I guess that's what experience can get you. He's played the game for a while. He knows what to do and when to do it. Great ball in, and Lukaku just keeps scoring. He's a specimen, and in my opinion, the most underrated footballer in Europe. Not even striker, just footballer, because nobody talks about him. Like all these accounts you follow,
plays in Serie A. If he played in the Premier League, putting these numbers up, he'd be considered the best in the world. And I do think he is.
Like you follow these accounts, and I see them shouting out like, I don't know offense, but these no-name guys from like Liga and Aussie, or like guys I never heard of, and they have like 4 goals, and like, oh wow, upcoming talent. But I never see Lukaku get any recognition from outside like Italian accounts. Yeah. So it's kind of frustrating to see, to be honest.
He's been consistent all year too, and it's not like there's a few games also he can't be consistent all year, but he's been most of like 90% consistent. He's been scoring every game, it seems.
Incredible.
I still think he's easily maybe top 3 in the world. Like I can debate that with people. You can say Haaland, Mbappe, Lewandowski, but you got to put Lukaku in that discussion too. He's been incredible, especially even last year too.
Yeah, definitely. And after that goal, Sassuolo did have some bright spots. They did a lot more than Bologna did, that's for sure. They pushed Inter, I won't say to their limits, but pretty close. They pushed the pace like Sassuolo always do, and you can tell maybe they tied up at some point, but no. Lukaku put a nice ball into Lautaro, who actually was a really nice finish. I think it was an underrated finish, to be honest. It looks easy, but it wasn't at all. Defender right in front of him as well. A great finish from Lautaro, and the Lukaku-Lautaro partnership continues to thrive this season. Last season, Lautaro, in my opinion, was the most overrated player in the league. He was terrible. This season he was looking much better. Yeah. And I feel like last year he tried to do too much on his own. This year I feel like he's playing more within the team and he's taking what's given to him and making the best of it. Last season, because he's not a creator. Lautaro Martinez is not a creator. He's not someone who's going to dribble by a couple of guys. He's more of a finisher. I don't want to say a poacher, but he's more than a poacher. But he's someone who you have to create for him most of the time. It's not a bad thing. There's a lot of players that made a career off that. Like
he's a complementing player. It's like he's like Bonucci to Chiellini.
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah, well said. That's actually a really good comparison. Yeah, he's a complementing player, and if you put him with the right people, he can be a very good player. And I think Conte over the summer realized that, and he's gotten the most out of him. So his value was going pretty low last season, and now it looks like it's going high again. So credit to Lautaro for really waking up this year, and clearly it helped Inter because they're looking incredible. He got the 10th straight win here, and also another clean sheet for them. Traore gave not a clean sheet, but it was looking they're going to get a clean sheet, and it's like, okay, Inter's going to settle down here, 2-0 win, close out, but nope. Traore, that goal, oh my god, that was incredible. What a goal.
He's been good for Sassuolo this year.
Yeah,
I think he's
scored against us too. 2 games
I think he's the Traore that United should have bought. That's the one I was thinking they were buying. I go, oh shit. But they bought his brother, I believe.
Yeah. They had the brothers. They bought the younger one, and this was just what a goal, man! Like what a goal! I really thought he was going to get the clean sheet here, and no, Traore. That's a wonderful strike, and I want to really give him credit there because who got the assist? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Djuricic got the assist.
Yeah, Djuricic, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really. I don't know. You could say he did it on purpose. It's just like a little bicycle kick. I don't know if he meant to get it to Traore, but if he did, that's incredible. A little scramble in there, and Traore just played a top corner, and just a beautiful strike. Not many keepers would save that. I don't think any keeper would. And credit to him. Very good player, very good goal. And Sassuolo should keep their heads up. They played well this game. Bologna didn't really do much against Inter, but Sassuolo really put the pressure on like they always do.
And credit to them. A good team. Like they're a tough team.
They do, definitely.
Very tough team. I feel like a few more players, then they can be able to compete for top like Europa League. Because I feel like they got a good core right now. I feel like if they could upgrade in the summer, a few more players, and De Zerbi's a good coach. I believe if he's a good coach, then they could be a team to look out for.
Yeah, and you know what? I was skeptical about De Zerbi in the past. I always thought he was a good coach, but he was a little quiet. But recently, when I've been watching, this guy's screaming on the sidelines all game long. And he's really done well to motivate his team. And at first, if Roma was looking for a coach this summer, which it probably will be if we don't win the Europa League, I didn't really want De Zerbi as an option. But after seeing him lately, I wouldn't mind him at all. He's looked really good. So, yeah, credit to De Zerbi. It all starts from the manager at the end of the day, and he's got his team playing well. So, credit to him, and big win for Inter, 10th straight win. Now, Danny, I'm sorry.
Enzo.
Yes.
Before I need to touch up on something here.
Inter fans, I'm sorry in advance.
Just, I gained a new respect for Sassuolo. They showed that they're cowards, and they'll face whoever, whenever, with whatever team they have. Unlike Inter, this game when it was originally supposed to be played, Handanovic and Di Vrij had COVID. So did Vecino, but Vecino doesn't play for Inter anyway, so it doesn't matter. Those were the two players that Inter's starting 11 had COVID. The Lega said, okay, game postponed, 2 COVID cases. Sassuolo is missing Caputo, Berardi, and Locatelli due to COVID.
I think it was injuries. I think they were just injuries.
Well, they said earlier it was COVID restrictions.
Because Caputo, I think
Caputo was injured, but
Caputo, Berardi, and Locatelli, since the Italian breakout, this is what I believe. The Italian, you know how the breakout happened in the Italian team with the staff. Yeah. They didn't want
to risk the players.
Yeah, they didn't want to risk a huge outbreak for the Sassuolo side, so they just kept them home.
Yeah, so those 3 players, due to COVID-19 reasons, were out, and the game didn't get postponed because obviously it didn't benefit Inter in any way. And Sassuolo put up a great fight without their 3 best players, and I think those 3 best players are there, or if they played the game in the original date with Padelli in it, we would have saw Sassuolo win easily, but Sassuolo played their hardest with the team that they were given, the hand that they were given, and I respect that for Sassuolo. So they earned my respect.
Yeah, they did it really well. Nothing to be ashamed of. And like I was saying, for Chad Danny, Juve Napoli, it was we saw Dybala's return. We saw a pretty entertaining match as a mutual here that I was watching. But I guess for Chad, you can take it off because I think you have a lot more positive to say the negative. And then Danny, you're gonna have to get to this one, I guess, bro.
I'll try.
I think after the Torino game, which I wasn't, the Torino game we played extremely well. It was just the matter of Sirigu stopping us from scoring. I think we were all over Torino, and then obviously we have Wojciech Szczesny, a Torino goalie, in for us. But this game, I was proud to see Buffon in net. That put an extra boost of confidence in me. Obviously seeing Wojciech Szczesny on the bench where he belongs. Actually, he belongs back home in Poland, but we'll get there on another day. We started off really good. We put up the pressure. Obviously, we weren't dominating Napoli, I would say. Napoli was giving it right back to us what we were giving them. We had we should have scored early on from Ronaldo. I think he turned into a center back there for Napoli, with that header. I still don't know how he missed that. It should never happen again. I never want to see that again. But he did get it back with another goal. Chiesa, what can I say? The guy's man of the match. He made Insigne and his eye bent down for him. They were on his knees for Chiesa, the King Chiesa over there. I don't know how that worked. That should never have worked. His eye, I don't know what his eye and Insigne were doing there, but thank God it worked, and Ronaldo finally put it in the back of the net. Then there was an incident that happened. I think we all know what we're talking about here. Lozano, I think he got pissed off. He may be jealous of Chiesa because Chiesa's thriving in City, and Lozano hasn't really been on par with Napoli. Obviously, this season he's been doing pretty good. And he went to go take out Chiesa inside the box. No ball was won. There was contact. The ref, for whatever reason, just decided not to check the monitor. No penalty was given. Poor Federico could have been hurt there. He could have really ended the season right there. But thank God he's a warrior. He got up. And I personally think it was a penalty. And then that's when that wasn't called.
Fakes all the injuries.
when that penalty wasn't called, I got scared. That's when I started to get scared. I was very confident up until then. We were showing Napoli the better team. Napoli was obviously having a lot of great chances, but thank God we have Buffon. We don't have Szczesny in it. Alexandro too off the line there. Beautiful block. But after that chance, I think it changed the whole momentum of the game. And that's when I thought I was talking to Enzo and my friend Matthew from high school there. And we were talking about, I'm like, oh, Napoli's going to get a lucky goal now because of that chance happened. And that's when I got nervous. And Napoli did put a scare to me. But thank God, Paulo Dybala came back. His return was finally back. And you could see the emotion and how much that goal meant to him when he scored. What a beautiful goal, by the way, too. Fantastic goal. And once it was 2-0, I was a little more calm. And then Chiellini, I think he forgot what sport he was playing. He thought it was the NFL and just ran into Osimhen. Clear penalty in my eyes, and that one was given. And Insigne, I guess his penalty rules against Juventus are over. Second game against Juve that he scored a penalty now. So unfortunate for Buffon not to get the clean sheet, but it was a penalty that was scored, and Buffon did play better than Wojciech Szczesny ever did. And just a message for him, just in case he's watching. Szczesny, I want you to wipe that smirk off your face when you're on the bench. And when Dybala scored that, when he was running there, Enzo could tell you guys, I was yelling at him for going near Paulo. If he wants to stay on the bench, that's great, but I don't like his attitude on the pitch, off the pitch. After that game against Torino, I think he should be the last one smiling and laughing on the bench. But that's just my takes on the game, and I think this is a very important game that was much needed for us to kind of, obviously Pirlo was on the tipping boat of if Napoli won, he would have got sacked or whatever was happening there. But it's good to see that we responded with a win. And so you said something at the beginning of the podcast that I don't agree with. You said Inter is running away with the Scudetto. That may be true. But Juventus' motto is fino alla fine. We're going to fight to the end, and the Scudetto's not over yet.
It's over.
And And the Lega Serie A is on Inter's side. Inter's getting all these favors. Inter's on form. They're playing extremely well. They're the clear favorites to win. But at the end, remember, Juventus still have Inter to play on the second last match day. Inter's going to drop a couple of points because you can't say they've been playing good these past two games. They've been playing like shit. They've just been getting the results, and that's what's necessary and key. But there's going to be a time in these past couple of weeks. Juventus is on form. Inter is slowly dropping there. They're getting fatigued, the players. They're going to drop some points. Juventus, I'm telling you right now, Juventus-Inter is going to be more decisive than everyone else thinks.
Well, Richard, you know the 12 points clear of you, right?
As of right now, I think they're 11 actually.
11?
11 or 12. 11 or 12.
12.
That's 4 games then, so. It's 4 games.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's 3. There's what?
9 remaining. There's 9 remaining.
Okay,
Dark was 4 games.
And so you can't predict that. It's like it's unlikely that they will. It's very unlikely that they will. It's not impossible.
It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
This is. They're only playing Napoli.
Okay, Napoli have Inter's playbook. Napoli always perform well against Inter, especially after that Juve performance. They're gonna want to win. They have Cagliari. Nangolan wants to prove Conte wrong.
Yeah, Nangolan's gonna carry the whole team and score a hat trick against it.
He doesn't need to score a hat trick. It just needs to be a scrappy 1-0 game for Cagliari.
Inter fans that tried. Okay. All right, Dan. Well, I guess you have to get through your part here, because.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. To begin the match, I didn't like the way Napoli came out. I feel like Gattuso got this whole game wrong. Just defensively, the first 2 minutes where Ronaldo had that open chance and he missed it. Thank God he did. From that chance on, I knew it was gonna be a long game for us. And then Husai, I said it once, said it twice. I can literally have down all the times I said Husai does not belong to Napoli, and I was right again. He should. I don't know what the hell he was doing on the Chiesa goal. Give Chiesa credit. He did great skill moves to get by Husai.
To be fair, it was Insigne too, Dan. But obviously, Insigne was there. Insigne got done by Chiesa too. It was more.
Insigne doesn't defend. Like you can't. I'm not gonna blame Insigne more because he's not natural. He's not defending his whole life. But Husai too got turned inside out like clothes, and you have to wash them and dry them after. And it was just terrible from Husai. And then our marking in the box was just unbelievable. I can't believe one guy didn't pick him up. But then the second goal with Dybala, we gave him that one space. You can never give a guy like Dybala space because he's going to make you pay, and which he did. Great finish by him. Good to see him score on his debut, I guess, if you're a Juve fan. But the way we played in the second half, I was very happy the way we played in the second half. It showed we were fighting to the end. Unlucky, there was an incident too where Danilo, I believe, or Sandro, it's Danilo or Sandro, they clipped Zielinski in the box. The referee didn't look at it as well, and play continued. But you can't do nothing because I guess it was a makeup call for the quote-unquote incident with Lozano. But then Chiellini gave us some hope with a nice hockey body check on Osimhen. Insigne drew it home, but we couldn't do nothing from that. Just the way we played, I wasn't too keen. For me, I feel like Di Lorenzo and Insigne were our best players. They had very good chances. They created a lot for us. And Napoli just need to keep their heads up high. I know it's not the result that we all wanted. I'm still disappointed from this result because I hate losing to Juventus. But we got to keep our heads up high. Our season's not done yet. We're still 2 points behind Atalanta for 4th place, and we're 3 points behind Juventus for 3rd. So we just got to keep on winning, keep winning the games we need to win, and hopefully pray that these teams drop points and we can capitalize on these points. And for me, one key factor I would love to see now, I would love to see Osimhen start games. Just give him the chance to start because it seems like the last few games he's come in, he's been causing impacts and he's been playing a lot better. So hopefully against Sampdoria on Sunday, we get to see Osimhen start.
Yeah, he's definitely done better as of late. And that really ends off all of our Serie A matches from last weekend and the midweek, the ones that were made up. Now moving on, final match and talking point of the podcast. we're going into an hour here. Roma Ajax. Wow, so much to say about this one. Heading into it, I was confident. People could call me crazy, but I was pretty confident heading into it. I'm not too scared of Dutch sides or any Dutch team, to be honest. All they're good for is injuring Zaniolo and any other players, so wasn't too worried about this one. I think a lot of Roma fans and people in general, even Zaniolo, maybe thinking about this. They had some what's the word I want to use? Some tension heading into this one because of the past and what's been going on. But heading into it, I was confident, and even though against Sassuolo we played terribly, this Europa League season we've been stepping up, and we've been doing things that I didn't really expect, like the Shakhtar one, 3-0. I did not expect that to happen. And when the game started, we were terrible. I think every big game we have a horrendous start. Remember before Roma-Napoli, I texted Danny, beginning of the game we can't complete 2 passes, so don't worry about that. And I was right. Napoli killed us in the beginning of the game. This one was nothing different. Ajax were capitalizing off our mistakes, and eventually Diawara and Mancini had a little mix-up there. Diawara played the pass to Mancini. Mancini didn't know either to go receive it or jockey back, and Diawara misinterpreted, I guess, his pass because he didn't play with enough power. I guess he assumed Mancini would be closer to him, and then he started backing up. And then it was turned into like a 2 or 3-on-1, and then it was 3-on-2, and then it was just a well-played play by them, and then they went up 1-0. From that point, you're like, oh no, this is not going well. As a Roma fan, we've seen it all before in the past, that when we go down in big games, it usually doesn't end well. It usually turns into a 4-0 loss. And then we played pretty well after we conceded. We had some chances. We got the ball up. Dzeko was moving in slow motion, which was pretty frustrating throughout the match, but I think we did a pretty good job during the match to really get back into it. And then once that penalty happened, Ibanez caused a penalty. I'm like, okay, this game might be a wrap here. That was frustrating. I feel like our Europa League dreams went out the window at that point once the pen was caused. And then Pau Lopez saves the penalty. First one he's ever saved as a Roma goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2, but I'm pretty sure it's the first one. He tends to go the wrong way for every pen, so if I had to choose one pen for him to save, it would be in this game, and he did. So that was a huge turning point. And not only a penalty, Pau Lopez is the man of the match by far. He's been the best goalkeeper in the Europa League this season. Commentators have been saying it. Fans of other teams have been saying it. And we've seen it with our own eyes. He's been fantastic in the Europa League. In Europa League, he's like Neuer, and the Serie A is like Olsen. So polar opposites. But he's really stepped up. He made huge saves over and over and over and over again. And he really kept us in this one. So we got to thank him for that. And shortly after the penalty save, I think it was a couple minutes later, Pellegrini had a free kick. And then Ajax were forced to play their 4th keeper, I believe it was, 3rd or 4th, because Stecklenburg got injured in the warm-ups. Pellegrini has never scored a free kick in the last 2 seasons. I think he scored one 3 years ago. But he took it. And when you see Pellegrini behind the free kick, you do not have a high expectations whatsoever. It went right to the keeper. He fumbled it, goes in the back of the net, and that was what we needed, really. From that point forward, we continued to play well. We did create a couple of chances here and there, but I'd still say Ajax had a better possession and chance creation, and they're pushing us in their home, so they kind of have to. But it got to the end there, and Ibanez, there's a corner, Pellegrini crossed it in. I'm not sure whose head it came off of, but it came off someone's head. Straight to Ibanez, chests it, takes his time, sets his feet, volleys it. No chance for the keeper. We get the 2-1 lead, and we're going into Rome with a 2-1 advantage. I was extremely happy, relieved. After such a up and down game, a mix of emotions throughout the whole match. You aren't expecting much out of it after that first goal we conceded. Then the penalty, you're like, this might be over the tie. But to come out of it 2-1, heading into Rome with Mkhitaryan most likely coming back. Spinazzola possibly returning after getting injured early in this match. Smalling. It's looking up for us right now. And Veretout gets another week of games in form against Bologna. I'm sure he'll play a little bit so he can get fully back to where he was before the injury. So heading to Rome, it's looking like everything's in our favor. We got more goals. We got more, obviously more away goals. They didn't have a chance yet, but 2 away goals in the lead heading to Rome with some of our most important players coming back. So it's looking good. And look, I'm not one to say we're going to be favorites or we're going to win this and that because our history has shown otherwise. I don't think we've won a trophy in 13 years now, and the last one was the Coppa Italia.
Don't discredit the tree, Ends.
Yeah, the tree. Yeah, I think the tree's dead right now, so I think the tree's gone. But I'm very confident. I'm not scared of Man United. I watched them against Milan, and they are horrendous defensively, I think. If Mkhitaryan's healthy by then, I think he'll exploit them. Our defense, sure, it's very shaky, but we're also playing a center attacking mid there. Smalling will be back before United for sure. He'll be back next week, most likely. And if Smalling can stay healthy for the remaining of the Europa League campaign, my expectations are to win it all. Arsenal, on the other side of the whole bracket here, Arsenal tied to Slavia Praha. It's looking like they might be heading out. They have choked in the past in the Europa League, so I wouldn't even mind playing them in the finals, to be honest. But really the best possible team we can play in the final if Arsenal is out is Villarreal. And I'm not saying that anyone's a bad team because they made it this far in the competition for a reason, but I'm not really scared of what we're going to be playing in the finals. Just United, they're a tricky team to get favorable calls, you can say. And it's not going to be easy, but I think Ajax, even though they aren't there mentally at times, I think they're probably tougher than United would be for us because their coach Ten Hag has experience in the Champions League semi-final, almost made a final. They knocked out Juve. They had more experience than us for sure, and our road to this final is not easy whatsoever. We're playing now 2 teams in a row that came out of the Champions League group stage and barely made it out. So yeah, it has been easy, and I think it's going to benefit us because United have had the easy path to where they are, and we've been tested, and I think we'll be ready to come out and surprise them if we get by Ajax. But we got to make sure we close out next week. We can't take any chances. We can't look past them, and our chances are looking very good at the moment. Even if Ajax win 1-0, we're going through. I think if we can score a goal, that'd be nice too, but a goal early on, that'll be very good for us. I think we'll close it out, and we're looking good. So, Roma fans, take a deep breath. It's been a while since we won a game. I think Ajax too were 24 games unbeaten heading into this one. It's the first loss, so that's what happens when you're not playing Dutch farmers every week. You have to play a real team and see what happens. So, yeah, Fonseca, he gets criticism, but if you watch this game, it's not him. These players make the stupidest mistakes I've ever seen in my lifetime. I've been watching this sport my whole life. I've never seen a team make so many errors so frequently. It's incredible. A team that just shoots themselves in the foot as much as we do. So, yeah, I'm going to end it off there. When we get too into it, still got a second leg to play. It's a very long podcast.
Yeah, I just want to brush up on a couple of points here. For everyone that knows Enzo, I think we all knew that if Roma lost that game to Ajax, very, very likely that he wouldn't be on the podcast today. I was watching with my good friend from high school, Matthew. He's a Scouser actually, and we were both praying that Roma were going to win. Obviously, just the only Serie A team in Europe, kind of a lot of pressure for Roma, so I want them to do well for the Serie A. But also for Enzo's sake, I think Ajax outplayed Roma. The first half, I think Roma had their chances, they just couldn't find the back of the net. And then when Diawara misplaced that pass or that whole debacle there, and Ajax scored, me and Matthew were quiet. We're like, oh no. But whatever Fonseca said to the team really motivated them, and especially that goal from Ibanez, it was fantastic. I mean, I remember before the game, Enzo called me, he warned me, he's like, watch, someone's going to get injured today. And he called it because Spinazzola, those dirty players injured Spinazzola. And
well, yeah, when you're playing the Dutch, it's inevitable. That's all they do.
I hope Spin is okay and recovers in time for the Euros, and which will even they even injured Pellegrini. I thought he was going to come up, but proved to be a warrior and stay on the pitch. So I mean, it was a good win for Roma. Yeah,
I'll break their nose if they.
Yeah, in case you didn't know.
Broken Barnes' nose.
Enzo's not the biggest fan of the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch in the past have done me wrong many times. My favorite player is Zaniolo, who has been injured twice by a Dutchman, once by Matthijs de Ligt and Donny van de Beek in the national team against the Netherlands. So
even against Napoli, the lid had Osimhen like I'm gonna use a WWE term, the STFU, John Cena's old signature.
yeah,
And I remember when I texted Enzo after I saw that. I go, the Lit knows WrestleMania's this weekend, right? So he can hold off for a few days. Don't need Osimhen getting choked out on the field. But
and I actually don't worry because we have our secret weapon coming next week. Karsdorp is back from suspension, so if you want to play with the Dutch, we all play with the Dutch too. We'll put our cards down. So Karsdorp will be back next week. Don't you worry about that. So.
He's gonna score a banger now just because he said his name.
To be fair, I'm not a fan of the Dutch, but I'd be stupid to say if he hasn't been good this season. I think he's the most assists as a defender in the league. And so he's been good this season. And I'm not a fan of the Dutch, but he's been very good for us. And he went from a mess coming from Feyenoord, ACL tears, on loan, basically called Rome a dump in the interview he did last year, saying, "Oh, I have no friends there. No one talks to me," like a little schoolgirl. But this season he's really manned up. He got a contract extension. He's leading the whole league in assists for a defender. He's been bombing up and down the wing. He hasn't been getting injured, so he's done well this season. And he'll also be back next week. So Ajax, like Francesca said, they all played us, and if they were ever going to destroy us or beat us by a fine margin, it would have been yesterday. That was their chance. We had a lot of guys out. Next week in Rome, we're getting 4 important players back. It's not looking good for them. And I'm usually not confident with Roma in Europe, but I'm not scared of no Ajax. So, I'm excited for next week. And, grazie Roma, because that's the win we all needed as fans. It's been a tough period, and finally a win to get us excited. And I even tweeted on last Sunday, I said that match against Ajax is what we need. We need to win because this fan base is dying slowly, and we got the win we needed. So proud of the team. They fought hard. They went to that dump, and they came home with an advantage. So, once again, grazie Roma. Great podcast. We had a lot of games here, 13 games we covered. Looking forward to this weekend. Back to normal Serie A schedule. We don't have to wake up too early and post 100 posts, so I'll be more spread out this weekend. But thank you for listening, and check out social media.
Just a quick, our thoughts and prayers go out to Daniele De Rossi, who's in the hospital now battling COVID-19. So wishing him a speedy recovery on behalf of all 6 side, and hopefully he makes a speedy recovery and gets out of the hospital soon.
Yeah. Daniele, we're all with you. You battled much tougher things than this COVID, so we know you'll be good. You're a warrior, so looking forward to seeing the reports of him being healthy and home with his family. So, forza Daniele. And also, Danny's the social media manager for Napoli Club Toronto. They've been down due to a suspension from Instagram because of ridiculous guidelines. And their account's back up, so go check them out. Napoli Club Toronto. Dan, what's the at Napoli_Toronto or something?
So Napoli Club Toronto on Instagram, and then on Twitter it's just Napoli_Toronto. But we are currently suspended on Twitter. We're trying to battle it back, so we'll keep you guys posted to see if we're gonna get the account back soon. And also, just our Instagram, it's Napoli Club Toronto. And so we're back on Instagram, but Twitter, it's still a harder battle. So hopefully we can get our Twitter back soon, because I miss posting on Twitter as well. Yeah,
definitely go support them. Also check out Francesca. He got 3 Calcio Tiers. They have a great podcast weekly. So with 2 other friends of his and guys that post Serie A content. So please go support both of them. I got nothing. I just got 6 sides. So go check out our Instagram at 6side Calcio, Twitter at 6side Calcio, Facebook 6side Calcio, everywhere, YouTube, everywhere, wherever you want to listen to us. And we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Ciao.
Ciao.
See you guys.